Hey everybody, welcome to Now It's Dark. I'm Jim. Thank you for clicking on this video review for Society from 1989. This is in my I Finally Watched series because this movie was a movie that I missed. It came out in 1989. I was just graduating high school. I am that old, yes. And this is a comedy horror, which isn't typically my genre, but this is um, one of those movies like Reanimator, From Beyond, Brain Damage, Basket Case, things like that. And some of the same people worked on this film that worked on a lot of the other ones. Brian Yuzna, Yuzna, is the director for this film. So this was recommended, when I'm in live streams and reading comments for the I Finally Watched series on my channel. I take recommendations because there's a lot of times that I don't know. I didn't see something because I don't know about it. Um, so Society is one of those movies. I just, for some reason, didn't really have a knowledge base of it. It stars Billy Warlock, who I immediately identified. For a time, I was working the overnight shift years ago, and I caught a lot of soap operas during the day that would just be on the TV. I wasn't really watching them, they were just on, but I recognized Billy Warlock. So he is probably most recognizable to the general public as somebody who's bounced around from General Hospital and other soap operas. But this movie has a cast of very familiar faces from all of the 80s movies similar to this. In particular, Bill's girlfriend, Billy Warlock played Bill, by the way, and Heidi Kozak played Shauna, and that would be Bill's kind of girlfriend. Little stressed relationship there. And yeah, it's really a kooky movie. This movie was all over the place. There is a also kind of somewhat love interesty character named Clarissa, played by Devin DeVasquez, and she's gorgeous. The one of the protagonists or antagonists, I'm sorry, is Ferguson, played by Ben Meyerson, and yeah. So Bill, let me read this a little synopsis. Bill is worried that he is different to his sister and parents. They mix with other upper class people while Bill is more down to earth. Even his girlfriend seems a bit odd. All is revealed when Bill returns home to find a party in full swing, not for the weak of stomach. And yeah, so Bill feels very disassociated from his family, and it's a weird dynamic. The build for Bill's character is that he's somewhat popular, but then also not. Like in school, he's doing the normal school things, debate club. I think it was that he was running for class president as well. And then there is like Ferguson and their group that are kind of doing things to kind of circumvent his success, so to speak. Bill feels very disassociated from his immediate family. Particularly, he mentions his appearance. He is seeking, it appears like therapy sessions with a Dr. Cleveland, played by Ben Slack, and um, so he's revealing a lot to the doctor, and it's very apparent that there is this underbelly society because the word society is used a million times in this. It's reference to Bill, how he needs to conform to society to be successful in society, things of that nature. And so it's the word society is pretty crammed down your throat. And so Bill starts even questioning at some points his own kind of mental state because he inadvertently spies on his sister in the shower. Inadvertently. I mean, we've all been there, right? Um, and her body seems contorted through the fogged glass door of the shower. And so it freaks him out. And then she, reveals herself by opening the door and is surprised to see him there. And he was just trying to get lotion. Um, And so that freaks him out. It's kind of like reinforcing in his head how different he feels in the family. He definitely suspects a very weird relationship between his sister and their parents, somewhat inappropriate in some people's views, relationship. And so his sister has a ex-boyfriend who happened to also be hiding out in her room at one point, and also placing listening devices, and picks up some audio of some very strange things. And um, at the beach, everybody's at the beach. Bill is confronted by that friend, and I think his name is Petrie, and he plays Bill the audio. It freaks Billy out. Bill takes the little micro cassette tape to his doctor, who keeps it and says he'll listen to it and he'll talk to Bill tomorrow. Give him the night he's busy. Gives the audio a listen. I guess we don't see that happen. Bill goes back the next day and the audio is altered completely. So Bill reaches out to his friend immediately on the phone and says, "I need another copy." And um, his friend meets an untimely demise. And that's about as far as I'll go, because I want to try to keep this a little bit spoiler free, because I'm sure there are some other people out there who have not seen this like me. But it gets a little crazy. We do get to see some boob buzz. If that is your interest in 80s films, is that they always have a gratuitous booby scene, at least. And that is one of the redeeming qualities of movies like this, is the opportunity to see some breastises. And it's something that's lacking in today's horror films. Aside from that, I am a fan of elevated horror, so to speak. I do appreciate the low budgety slashers that still kind of try to capture that 80s vibe by having gratuitous boobs and sex. I'm trying to look at my notes. I just really don't want to mistake anything. The the contorted body imagery really ramps up at the end of this film. It gets very weird. Like I read in the synopsis, Bill um, has an encounter with his family and the rest of the society, and they kind of explain things to him and what his role is in it, and has kind of a mano-y-mano with Ferguson during that. And just a lot of crazy things are happening, just a lot of wackiness. And then after this big party and this climactic fight and grotesque scenes and just weird weirdness, it just kind of ends, and it's a little weird. It was like, I'm sure I at some point was getting a little fatigued from the movie. It is only an hour and 38 minutes, but it did feel long to me. I wasn't 100% engaged in it. There was, like, Bill, I didn't like his character. I don't know, like, I kept looking at him and thinking he was just a little odd. But the movie overall is definitely like a one watch movie for me, and I'm not mad that I watched it. It's just it's not on the same level as like The Reanimator and the From Beyond and all those other movies. This would be way lower on the tier from this group of filmmakers and actors. And there's a lot of stuff I kept out of this review, just because if you do go to watch it, I'm hoping that other people who really are more in tune to this style of movie and genre, this time frame and things. I dabble in all the different genres and time frames, so sometimes things hit like really good, and then sometimes they're just meh. This one's just meh. But again, I'm not mad that I watched it. It was cool. Some of the practical effects and the visual stuff, I appreciate that all very much. So I do enjoy that. But the story was just a little weird, which, for some is going to work and for some it's not. The ending was a little less impactful to me for what the story thread was that I thought it was going to be. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you've seen Society and what you think. This movie's been out since '89, so I mean, even though I kept my review spoiler free, the comments, go nuts with whatever you want. Maybe point out some stuff that I may have missed that would have made that ending make a bigger impact on my viewing experience. But that's going to do it all for me today for this. I finally watched Society 1989. Please leave a comment, and if you are feeling generous, maybe subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bells for more great stuff.
Row 18, plot 20.